What I'm working on now might be kind of interesting for people thinking about being creative with materials that are not conventionally high art materials. I make films, and as well as paint, and I don't shoot the films myself, and I work in a very low-tech way. I find the films, I find these old reels, these old home movies made in mostly 50s and the 60s, and I buy those from flea markets, or people give them to me, and I have them transferred into digital. And then from the digital process, I make new films, or I make a film. So from this discarded material, something new can be made, and something new can be born. And often these films are films that were very dear to the people who made them. So there's a strong emotional context to them. And they're also individual people's lives, but individuals are not islands. You know, people love one another, people, you know, have difficulty with one another, people go on holidays, people have pets, people have children, people want to photograph and document their lives in one form or another. And we know this from family photographs, we know this from you know, your cell phone, taking a shot of everything. We have an impulse to document our lives, and which also means that we want to show another picture of ourselves. So I find these old films which have a lot of this kind of self-presentation in them, and then obviously there's the person who's shooting, who's photographing these home movies. But we know about home movies; they're about affirming a sense of the self, affirming the person's past as well as the potential for the future. You see images of little children, you know, moving to the camera, dressing up, wanting to be something in the world, so full of aspiration. And then I cut sequences, and they apparently, well, they're from arbitrary, they're random in that I don't know who shot these films. And I make new stories, and often the stories relate back to South African history, and often the part of the history that's not always told, you know. So basically they're about storytelling, and but storytelling in a visual form, so it's visual storytelling. And I think that's something that I want to say, that when I imagine arts education as this absolutely essential part of education, it's a way of also thinking about integrating all these different forms of expression.